Sorry about that. My phone had fell and cut the video off, but let's finish. You are that egg, right? So you want to handle that egg with care. You want to cook it right, the right temperature and everything. So when you do that, it eases off that pan onto that plate perfectly, right? And then you can eat that egg. So stop walking around. Stop walking away from the things that you need, that need immediate care in your life. That's what I mean. Like, don't walk away from the egg, right? Because you got to cook an egg correctly, right? The right temperature, the right pan, right? So it can ease on that plate and you can eat, right? And when I'm talking about immediate care, I'm talking about your kids, your finances, your health, your mental health, your physical, emotional, your self-care, to do things you can do later on, to do things that'll stunt your growth. And what I mean is, like, when we do things that distract us, distractions and stuff. Because I've been guilty of that lately. Like, I was supposed to make many of videos, but I was, going through some things in my own mind, having to decide, like, okay, Lord, I know you told me to do this and whatever you told me to share, but how do I share this? How do I be myself? And then all of a sudden, when I made a decision to stop getting in my own way and just persevere, even through sometimes I'm challenged each day with my children, because I have very young children versus my older children who are a little more easier to do things, on their own. I kind of teach my children to be a little more independent and don't always rely on other people, because none of us know when our time is going to come. So I try to teach my children, like, I know you expect me to always be here to pick up after you and do this and that, but I'm going to need you to learn how to do some things for yourself. I'm going to need you to be ready and want to do things and eager for yourself, because it's going to come a time where the people and places and things that you find safe are not going to be there anymore. And you're going to only have yourself. So I teach them and instill in them that it's nothing wrong with having some independence, but no one allow other people to, to depend on someone else, because there are people and very good people you can depend on. But back to the point of, what I mean about stunting your growth. You don't want to stunt that. Things don't need, much tending to, because they've been needed tending to, which I mean is like laundry. Like, for instance, I made a video about laundry, and I made that video about laundry because the Lord was like, look, Salida, you keep worrying about the laundry in the room, but you knew that was piling up, but you supposed to be doing this, and then it's like, for me, I'm still having that same issue with the laundry. It keep piling up so quickly, and mostly because, like, say, the children spill something on something. And it's not really dirty clothes. It's more like maybe sheets and towels. And when stuff like that in bulks build up and make things look larger than what it is. So I refer that to what I realized was going on in my mind, and why I haven't been out here getting these messages to, you all, about myself, hoping that me sharing my experience and things in my journey will enlighten you and encourage you to be free of those chains in your mind. Is more like, I'm looking at, I'm allowing the things in my life, the small things in my life, or the storm in my life, to overpower everything. I put too much focus into it. I made too much of a big deal of something that's not even anything to worry about. So, and not really, and holding on to things and not letting go of things that made me no good, So I look at my laundry when I was like, I know I need to be washing it, but I find a reason to do something else that been needed to be done, that ain't even that serious, that can get done at any time, right? So now I've been being focused on the laundry, and I said I'm determined. And I'm like, and that reminds me what the Lord says is to always persevere. I'm determined to finish that laundry, and I'm going to get it done to the point that, that little space that I have it in is clean, and when I notice things like that, like things that I usually wouldn't do, usually I would not have any laundry in my hallway. Usually I will not leave a dish out or stuff like that. And when I start doing little things, when I know I'm a very organized and clean person, that lets me know that something's out of order in my mind. Subconsciously, I'm not dealing with something. Those are cues for me in my life that signals and lets me know, like, hey, the Lord's telling me I need to pay attention to something, So anyway, tend to the important things with care. Nurture the things that matter to you. When you neglect, you neglect God. If God created all things and you are a part of all things, why would God make you to neglect who you are? You know, you're made in his image. If Christ is in you, why neglect you? Why neglect Christ? If you are who God says you are, why are you neglecting you? And I'm asking you that because I had to ask myself that. Like, why wasn't I loving myself? Why am I neglecting me? Why am I not, even though I'm not a vain person, but I like to look nice. I like to look clean. I don't have to have on labels because I realize, like, I don't take my pride and find my value in wearing somebody else's name. I don't find my value in my clothing. I don't find my value in my home. I don't find my value in money. What I find value in is like when I'm walking down the street and a homeless person come up to me and he asks me for $2, right? And I actually might have 5 ones in my hand, and I say, here you go. What they do with that money is not your business. It's the intent behind that you gave them, knowing you had and you could have said no. Now, I'm not saying that you got to give to every homeless person, but at some point, you know, if you walk past homeless people every day, then why not? You know, because if you can get a hold to money faster than them, why not give to somebody who can't, you know, or don't know how to, you know. Also, being humble is not easy. But when you're a person that you used to not having, or you know what it's like to have and to not have, being humble comes graciously, you know. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this video because sometimes I know I will go off topic and say a lot more. But I'm going to tell you this. One thing that I'm learning even about myself. That standing firm is a must because people will play with you. It doesn't mean don't be kind. Be kind, but be firm. You know, I was told that I'm intimidating. It's not my fault if you intimidated because I'm assertive. And there's that inner knowing within myself. And there's that light that shines upon me. When you have a light, stop dimming your light looking at mine. You know, it hasn't been easy to get in this place. And I wouldn't trade this space ever, 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 ever in my life. I would not trade anything about my life. You know, like, I look at the people who may have done me wrong, and I thank them for doing that, because why would I want them people around me? I'm also thankful for the people who did treat me right. Even if they not around me, I still thank God for the people who came into my life who has been a blessing to me. I thank God for the people who stepped in when my parents couldn't be there for me. I thank God for the fact that even though I have children and I may not have that tight-knit family like that I dreamed of, but I still had the children that I asked for, and I'm still able to provide, protect, and take care of them. I'm still able to live and survive and have a sound mind, whether I have a bunch of money, whether I have a little bit of money. I'm able to be content in all things, because I remember myself a year ago crying about money and how was I going to pay my rent. And how was I going to do things? And I had to remember the Lord had to tell me to trust in Him. And remember that also that the Lord supplies all my needs, you know, and that I shouldn't even be putting my faith in the job and the faith in people and the faith in the world, that I need to be opening my mind, that I need to keep reading books. I need to keep pursuing being who I am. I need to be increasing my knowledge. You know, I need to be gaining some type of wisdom and being aware, you know. So I'm going to leave this on a positive note. And I'm going to remind you that you are capable of amazing things. Peace and blessings, beautiful souls, into the next building. To the next video. It is your girl, your lady, your one and only, the soul leader. Peace and blessings.